6:12 here on the East Coast. I'm Jean A. Francine. Right now, we do want to transition to the latest of the Trump presidency. It takes us out to the nation's capital, giving you a live look at the White House. This morning, the ball is in Ukraine's court. That's President Donald Trump's message to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. This ahead of a high-pressure meeting today at the White House. It's a follow-up to President Trump's meeting last week with Russian President Vladimir Putin. We want to check in this morning with Fox News correspondent Doug Luzader. He has more on the peace effort today from Washington.
This is going to be a crowded scene at the White House for this meeting today. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is under enormous pressure, and he's not coming alone. With Russia trying to lock in what gains it can, another sit-down today between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. And already, Trump is ramping up the pressure. Posting last night on Truth Social, President Zelenskyy of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight.
This is tough stuff.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio laying some groundwork over the weekend, saying Ukraine will have to make concessions.
You can't have a peace deal between two warring factions unless both sides agree to give up something and both sides agree that the other side gets something.
Zelenskyy, meeting with European leaders, pushed back against land concessions to Russia.
The constitution of Ukraine makes it impossible to give up territory or trade land.
And Zelenskyy will be joined at the White House today by 7 other European leaders, all making the case for a tough stance against Russia following last week's Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska.
That meeting was a disaster. It was an embarrassment for the United States.
Critics accuse Trump of giving in to Putin, but the administration says security guarantees could build a lasting peace.
It means that the United States is potentially prepared to be able to give Article 5 security guarantees, but not from NATO, directly from the United States and other European countries.
And President Trump is already saying there is no way Ukraine will get back Crimea, which Russia seized back in 2014, and NATO membership is off the table. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Doug, thank you so much for that detailed report. And as we are following the very latest ahead of these high-level talks on this Monday, the latest from the commander-in-chief, as today he will meet with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and European leaders. He put on his social media platform Truth Social, quote, "Big day at the White House tomorrow," alluding to today. He goes on to say, quote, "Never had so many European leaders at one time. My great honor to host them. President DJT," of course, that stands for Donald J. Trump. We're also following the very latest from the Ukrainian president this morning. Take a look at your screen. It is cut off at the bottom, but I will read it in full for you. Again, he put this out about 5 hours ago, but he was alluding to today. He says, quote, "I have already arrived in Washington. Tomorrow, I am meeting with President Donald Trump. Tomorrow, we are also speaking with European leaders. I am grateful to President of the United States for the invitation. We all share a strong desire to end this war quickly and reliably, and peace must be lasting, not like it was years ago when Ukraine was forced to give up Crimea and part of our east, and Putin simply used it as a springboard for a new attack." He goes on to say, quote, "Or when Ukraine was given so-called security guarantees in 1994, but they did not work. Of course, Crimea should not have been given up then, just as Ukrainians did not give up Kyiv," and then he lists other areas after 2022. "Ukrainians are fighting for their land, for their independence. Now, our soldiers have successes in Donetsk and Sumy regions. I am confident that we will defend Ukraine, effectively guarantee security, and that our people will always be grateful to President Trump, everyone in America, and every partner and ally for their support and invaluable assistance. Russia must end this war, which it itself started, and I hope that our joint strength with America, with our European friends, will force Russia into a real peace." He goes on to say, quote, "Thank you." Now, as we are following these high-level talks, if you're wondering who will be attending this high-level meeting as relates to those European leaders, take a look at your screen. Fox's Aisha Hasni posting this on X, giving a detail of who will be in attendance. Of course, we will be following the very latest here on Live Now from Fox. And the latest from Rapid Response 47, a detailed breakdown of when everything will kick off. Noon Eastern time, European leaders to arrive to the White House. Then at 1 p.m., President Donald Trump to greet the president of Ukraine. 1:15. The president participates in a bilateral meeting with the president of Ukraine. And speaking of Ukraine, we actually have some live looks that I want to share with you on this Monday morning, giving you a live look there out in Kyiv, Ukraine, here at 6:17 on the East Coast. We also have this live look, which takes us out to Moscow, Russia. We will continue to follow the very latest of all things of these high-level talks right here on Live Now from Fox.